Welcome to Occupational Noise Exposure. Overview. 22 million workers are exposed to potentially damaging noise at work each year. Last year, U.S. business paid more than $1.5 million in penalties for not protecting workers from noise. While it's impossible to put a number to the human toll of hearing loss, an estimated $242 million is spent annually on workers' compensation for hearing loss disability. Objectives. Today you will learn about occupational noise exposure and the risks associated with it while on the job. You will learn proper steps and procedures for hearing protection and what is required to protect yourself. You will see examples of proper hearing protection that you will use to help prevent occupational noise exposure. What is noise? Noise and vibration are both fluctuations in the pressure of air which affect the human body. Vibrations that are detected by the human ear are classified as sound. The term noise indicates unwanted sound. Noise is measured in units of sound pressure called decibels or dB. Health effects. Exposure to high levels of noise can cause permanent hearing loss. Neither surgery nor a hearing aid can help correct this type of hearing loss. Short-term exposure to loud noise can also cause a temporary change in hearing. An example of this is tinnitus. While short-term exposure may go away within minutes, long-term exposure or repeated exposure to loud noise can lead to permanent effects. What can be done to reduce the hazard from noise? Hearing protection devices, or HPDs, such as earmuffs and plugs, are considered an acceptable but less desirable option to control exposures to noise and are generally used during the time necessary to implement engineering or administrative controls when such controls are not feasible or when workers' hearing tests indicate significant hearing damage. Here are some hearing protection examples: earmuffs, foam insert earplugs, and semi-aural caps.
OSHA Standard 29 CFR 1910.95. This standard covers protection against the effects of noise exposure and what should be provided when the sound levels exceed those shown in the table on the right. Octave band sound pressure levels may be converted to the equivalent A-weighted sound level by plotting them on the graph and noting the A-weighted sound level corresponding to the point of the highest penetration in the sound level contours. This section deals with employees when they are subjected to sounds exceeding those listed in the table on the right. In this case, feasible, administrative, or engineering controls shall be utilized. If such controls fail to reduce sound levels within those listed in the table supplied, personal protective equipment shall be provided and used to reduce sound levels within the levels listed. The employer shall administer a continuing, effective hearing and conservation program. Whenever employee noise exposures equal or exceed an 8-hour time-weighted average sound level of 85 decibels measured on the A scale, or equivalently, a dose of 50%. When information indicates that any employee's exposure may equal or exceed an 8-hour time-weighted average of 85 decibels, the employer shall develop and implement a monitoring program. Employers shall make hearing protectors available to all employees exposed to an 8-hour time-weighted average of 85 decibels or greater at no cost to the employees. Hearing protectors shall be replaced as necessary. Employers shall ensure that hearing protectors are worn when they are required. Reminder: always wear proper PPE. Life is worth listening to. Wear hearing protection. This presentation was brought to you by Jared Dickerson, Christopher Perkins, and Robert Dawson.